Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to Am I the Asshole Podcast. Today is Thursday, you guys' favorite episode, your favorite day. Thursday, we have our book, Beautiful Venom, for you guys. Boy, has that book been getting spicy. Oh, I know you guys are loving it. I know I'm loving it. Can't wait to film another Thursday episode for you guys. Super excited, but you guys know that we have our thread. Today's thread, a little juicy. Ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? So let's get on into it. Today's thread is, what's your worst rejection? Let's get it. All right. I was lab partners with a girl in college who was extremely good looking and funny. She was really fun to have as a lab partner. And one day after class, I asked if she would like to get a drink. It was still early for dinner. She literally bust out laughing in front of about 20-30 people. Then she held up her hand and showed me the ring she hadn't been wearing because she didn't want it to get ruined during the lab. Oh, bruh. Oh, no. Talk about a shank and twist, my guy. No. He was just like, hey, would you want to get a drink sometime? Maybe a little late dinner. And she's just like, I'm married, fam. Sorry. Sucks to be you. Like, bro. No. Oh, bro. That one's tough. Because it's one of those things where it's like, you always think, oh, what's the worst she could say is no. And it's like, come on, man. It's never that easy. She could have easily just said no. She could be like, oh, no, I'm okay. Like, thanks for the offer, though. But I don't want to, I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess up friendship, whatever. She didn't have to do all that, bruh. She laughed. She busted out laughing at this man. And then was just like, I got a ring, nigga. Like, get the fuck out of here. Damn. All right, on to our next one. What's your worst rejection story? I was at Borders and I saw this cute Asian girl reading about aliens, and I came up to her and I said, hey. She's looked at me and responded, no. Shook her head and walked away as fast as she could. Woo! Hey, look, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Oh, not everybody's built the same. You know what I mean? And look, I'm not saying I would have pulled her or nothing like that. Not saying that at all. I'm just saying there's no way I would be able to take that level of rejection calmly. I would feel like the crash out would be so justified. I'm like, wow. Wow. Do I look that bad? That bad? I would go into the bathroom, look at myself in the mirror, and, look at the guy next to me, the guy taking a dump in the stall, and I'd be like, yo, do I look that bad, guys? Homie's over there like, nah, bro. Nah, you don't look that bad. Nah, not at all, bro. Oh, man. But I'm just saying, man, I would need some validation at that point because I'd be like, bro, there's no way I look that bad. No way I look that shitty. Like, oh, for her to just be like, no, and walk away as fast as possible is crazy. All right, on to our next one. What's your worst rejection story? My school always held this dance at the end of the year for 8th graders before they were sent off to high school. I never got asked by anyone, so I finally gained the courage to ask this boy who I really wanted to go to the dance with. I approached him, said, hey, do you have a date for the dance? Because I think it would be really fun to go with you. He started laughing and said, yeah, maybe I'll see you there. Woo! I did it, right? Wrong. I went to the dance, found him there, asked him if he wanted to dance, and he turned his back to me. He was hiding his face behind his hands and saying, get her away from me, she's gross. Aww. But look, man, you gotta understand, like, as kids, they're probably still, even in 8th grade, me, I wasn't like that. Middle school, I was like, yo, girls, yum, I want that. I want to see what's going on. You know what I mean? I was a super perv when I was in fucking middle school. You know what I mean? I was like, ooh, I want to touch your boobs, and oh my god, I want to see, you know what I mean? I want to see whatever I can see, do whatever I can do, like, bruh. But there are some boys that are not like that. Some boys, they're just kind of, nah, girls are gross, and nah, cooties and this and that. You know what I mean? Like, they're still in that like little thing. They may not get out of it until high school. So, in that case, it's like, for her, she could have easily went into high school, kept that mentality of like, if I see a boy, I'm gonna tell him I like him, or I'm gonna ask him to whatever, and she'll have some high success rate. You know what I mean? You'll have the highest success rate that you're looking for, because let's be honest, either that, or it might be a thing where he just really didn't find you attractive, didn't know how to say it. Yeah, there's that too. Because sometimes I know in middle school there was that kind of thing that happened to me, where there were girls that I really didn't find attractive, like, at all, and I was just like, oh no, yeah, no, I'm okay. Like, I don't really want to, do anything with you at all. I don't want to be in the same room as you. No thanks. Bye. Leave me alone. Fucking spray and shit. Like, that happens, bro. That happens. All right, what is your worst rejection story? The more you want the yes, the more the rejection is. Rejection is a pain measured in desire of time. Okay, sure, bro. Look, man, rejection is a part of life. It's something where it's just like, you go for it. It happens. Rejection's not just in relationships. It's in all facets of life. Whether, you want to get a job, whether you're going for opportunities, whether you're doing this or that, or, it's like, bro, rejection's a part of life. It is what it is. All right. We don't want no philosophical shit. We want the funny stories. All right, so what is your worst rejection story? I've only ever asked a girl on a date once. She said, wait, what? I thought you were gay. Oh. I've never been on a formal date at all. I hang out with a lot of girls one-on-one, but most of the time we just chill at my place or theirs and watch movies and talk whatever. Oh my god, bruh. That's bad. That's bad. Like, look, okay, being in the friend zone, that's bad. All right? Being in the friend zone is bad. But there have been golden moments and golden times where guys have crawled out of the friend zone. You know what I mean? It's happened. But getting out of the gay zone, bruh. Like, if the friend zone is ground level, being in the gay zone puts you 10 feet below the ground, bruh. You are never digging your way out of that one. Oh, man. You are super de-duper cooked. And then the fact that, bro, girls are coming over to your house and you're not trying anything. Come on, bro. What are you doing? I would think you're gay, too. You got all these girls that are your friends and you're hanging out with them and shit like that. You ain't trying nothing with any of them? Come on, man. What are we doing here? Like, you got to understand, for a girl, like, when she first goes to a guy's house, she's kind of assuming, you know what I mean? Something is going to happen. And then if nothing happens, and she's like, okay, cool, he's just a safe friend. It is what it is. But if you kind of establish that, like, early on, she comes over, you are like, watching some movies, shebang-danging, a little touch here and there, you escalate just right. Some shit could happen, you know what I mean? You'd be like, what it do? But I think a lot of dudes, they just, I don't know, they get so comfortable and they get so stuck in that, and then it's just like they just see you as a gay friend. Dude, that's crazy. And they do that just to justify, like, when they have a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, when they have a boyfriend, they're like, oh, no, that's just my gay friend. Like, he's gay. Like, I've been in this man's bed and he didn't try shit. Like, bruh, if I got a girl in my bed, bro, I'm trying. I'm trying stuff. Like, bruh, come on, man. What are we talking about here? Crazy work. All right. What's your worst rejection story? My worst rejection would have to be a girl who cut my hair one time at a salon. She initiated the conversation and it seemed to be going really well. Right before she was done, we started talking about working out programs P90X and how neither of us could stay motivated enough to finish it. She said she didn't have her copy of Ab Ripper X anymore, so I jumped on the opportunity to ask her if she would like to burn like me to burn her one. So I got her number and left with a smile. The whole night we were blowing up each other's phones and with text about everything. Even some flirting was done. So I burned the DVD. We prepared myself to ask her out for dinner. Being the incredibly shy person I was, or the shy person I am, was really nervous and overthought the matter a lot because I had really never done anything like this before. So the next day I bring the DVD to her while she's working. She sees me at the door, so she stops cutting hair and walks over with a big smile. My hand started shaking and my stomach was in my throat when I handed her the DVD. She said thanks and was about to go get me a free haircut card or whatever it's called when I blurted out in a crowded salon, "So would you maybe like to go get dinner sometime?" Yes, those are stutters. Ooh, cat. Oh, damn. She immediately looked shocked and in a couple seconds replied with an apologetic face, "Maybe." I replied with, "Is that a maybe yes or maybe no?" She said, "Maybe no." Yeah, whenever a girl says maybe, bro, that's a no. It's just a no. I put my head down in defeat and walked out with everyone looking at me. No free haircut coupon. Damn. Oh, bruh. And it's okay. You want to know why? I've had the same situation before. I remember I was going to get my hair cut, right? And I had a casual day, dude. Went in, and I thank God for me. No, it wasn't a crowded room, okay? Thank Jesus for me it wasn't a crowded room. I was the only one there. There was this cool girl there, sat down. She was cutting my hair. We were chit-chatting, talking, whatever. Even after my haircut was done, we were still chit-chatting and talking it up for the next maybe 20 minutes. I had already gotten my haircut. I had already paid everything. Like, I had no reason to stay there. Still stayed for like 20 minutes, talking up, vibing, all that stuff. I was just like, yo, when do you get off work? I love to keep hanging out with you and, continue this conversation. Maybe we can do it over some dinner, whatever. And, she was just like, "Oh, I have a boyfriend." So I know how it feels, my guy. Okay? I know how it feels. Okay? I know. I'm right there with you in Painesville, my G. It pains me too. I walked out of that bitch with my head held high. I was like, oh yeah, no. I respect it. No, don't worry about it. I respect it. Like, I'll see you around, and then I left and I was just like, oh no. Oh, it was bad. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah. I feel you, man. I've been there, done that thing. But you had it worse, okay? I'm not going to sit here and say I had it, just as bad as you. Nah, you had it worse because you did it in a crowded room, my guy. Oh, that's got to be tough, bro. That's got to be tough. So, yeah, man, I feel your pain. All right, what is your worst rejection story? I've had a fellow ask me out only to resend it later that day because his friend didn't think I was hot/cool enough and made fun of him. That was pretty dope. Okay. All right. So a guy asked you out and then he resend it because his friend didn't think that she was hot or cool enough and made fun of him? Okay. All right. I not enough context on that one, if I'm being real with you. Okay, on to our next one. What's your worst rejection story? I like this girl, Sarah, in summer of 2008. We worked at the same summer camp, and I thought we hit it off really well. She was a huge flirt. Anyway, after a few weeks of flirting on and off, all of the staff members have this campfire boundary breaking talk thingy. She picks me up to talk about her. Yeah, she picks me to talk about her. I tell her that she's fantastic and really amazing and all that, and she reciprocated in front of everyone else, which to me was like, oh yes, she likes me. He said, I'm in there like swimwear, baby. Okay, here's the scene. A light drizzle has begun. There's a slight mist in the air. It's romantic. I start to walk her back to her cabin after the campfire. Oh, he's setting it up. Ooh. All right. He's setting it up for us. All right, so, there's a light drizzle began and a slight mist in the air. It's romantic. I start to walk her back to her cabin after the campfire, but she says she can make it back without me. After getting to this bridge, I say, okay, turn around and start to walk to my cabin. What the fuck, Dave? I thought. Now is your chance. So I turned around and made my way back to her. By this time, however, she had made it quite a ways away. And when she heard me coming, she turned around, slipped, and began to fall. I slid and caught her. She literally fell in my arms. We locked eyes and my heart skipped a beat. Oh, baby. I helped her up. I said, Sarah, I like you a lot. I was wondering if you do the same. She looked at me with her brown eyes, brushed her hair back, and said to me, I don't really like you in that way. Oh, wait, wrong one. Damn. He woke up from that dream real quick. Man. Oh, no. Yeah. Me. Oh, okay. Then she turned around and left me standing on a bridge in the rain. Damn. Bruh. After this story was so absolutely, this was like straight out of one of our books or something. It's in the rain, all this shit. He runs over to her. Oh, hey, Sarah, I think that's her name. Oh, and she's just like, what? Oh, slip. Oh, and he's like, boom, got you. Oh, and then he's like looking at her in her arms, or she's in his arms, and he's looking down at her while she's looking up at him, and he's like, I like you, Sarah, a lot. And she's just like, nah, I don't like you the same way. Nah, bro. And he's like, wait, okay. Cool. She walks away and he's just
emotional damage.
Ooh. Boy's just standing there in the rain. Just standing there in the rain, cooked. Oh, bro. Just standing in the rain, absolutely cooked. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Poor guy, bro. Poor guy. Like, how do you do all of that? And that's why it's one of those things where guys, we say that shooting your shot, ladies, is not just you looking at us, because we can do the most. Like, you guys can be flirting with us. You can, choose to talk about us in the little, boundary breaking talking thingy, saying, oh my God, Dave over there is the most amazing camp counselor. He's so great with the kids and he's super funny. And I love hanging out with him all summer. And then, he can run after you, catch you falling in the rain. You guys are romanced all together, ready to go. And then she's just like, no, I don't like you like that at all. No. Sorry, Dave. This was romantic and all, but no, I'm good. Not me, Chief. Like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, bruh, I guarantee you Dave would sit there and, if a girl's looking at him from the other side of the bar, he's probably just like, you know what? Yeah, that girl is looking behind me. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's looking at the Chads behind me, and there's just a wall behind him, and that girl's over there licking her lips, all that shit. She wants to suck the skin off his penis, but he's just like, nope, because I caught a bitch in the rain, and she told me no. So there ain't no way you over here licking your lips want me. Nope. I feel it, brother. All right, on to our next one. What's your worst rejection story? Asked a girl while it's on the upteenth date that we should make it official. She replied, oh, I can't. I'm seeing this other guy and he is really sweet. Left me with the bill and walked out. Oh! No. So they're seeing each other, dating, talking, doing their thing. And then homeboy is just like, hey, so, we've been going out for a little bit. We've been talking. We've been doing our thing. So, like, I was thinking, you want to make this official? And she was just like, no. We're not doing this. We're not doing this, Daniel. Okay? We're not doing this, bro. There's actually a guy that I'm talking to that I really like. And I was actually going to go to his house, like, literally right after this. So I think this is probably a good time to tell you I'm about to leave. So thanks for the free food, though. Peace out. And the homeboy just went like, wait, what, huh? He just,
What?
huh? Well, I dumbfounded. I know I would be. I'd be sitting there at that table like, fuck. I would literally ask the waiter. I would just be like, hey man, I need like 2 or 3 shots of the strongest shit you got. Yeah, I just need it. Okay, please. Please. I would beg that man. I would beg him. I'd be like, please, bro. I can't do this anymore. Oh shit. Dude, just being put in that position. Bro, I'm telling you, this whole saying of the worst she can say is no. Oh, bro. Nah, man. Nah. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And look, I get it. Like I said, early on, rejection is part of the game. Rejection is part of life. It happens. But sometimes the rejection is like so freaking hard. You're just like, oh my God. I'm telling you, bro. Oh, absolutely terrible. All right, I'm going to do 2 more in the thread. What's your worst rejection story? Can it be from the opposite end? Yes, it can. A friend of mine had just been shot down by this super hot exchange student. Being an awesome friend, I was like, nuts to that bitch. Let's go out to dinner and see a movie, something fun. Okay, so we did. He paid for dinner. I paid for the movie. We came back to our apartment and watched Rent. Watched and Rent. Oh, hold on. Apartment and watched Rent. What the fuck is Rent? I guess that's a movie. Okay. While bitching about stupid people. Then he leaned in to kiss me. Yo! I laughed in his face. I felt immediately terrible afterward and apologized multiple times. I was just trying to get him to have fun and forget about being rejected. And then I rejected him. Yo! No! No! Oh! No. Dang. Oh, bruh. Oh, that's gotta be the worst. Man's got rejected twice. He thought, oh yeah, she was waiting for something like this to happen. She over here giving me the signs. I'm in there like swimwear. Let's go, baby. Nope. He was just like, damn, I didn't see it at first, but now I see it. I see it, Claire. It was supposed to be you the whole time. Nigga just leaned in and she was like, whoa, champ. Hold up. Wait a minute. No, hold on. I don't see you that way. You my friend, dog. You my friend. And he's just like, wait, what?
Help me, nigga.
Like, huh? What, for real? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, of course. We're friends. Yeah. No shit. Duh. I mean, like, of course. Like, you know what I mean? Kissing your female friend. What?
Gay.
Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to kiss my, female friend? That's crazy. Okay. All right. Yeah, I gotta go home. I gotta leave. I gotta wash my, socks. Peace. Later. Like, bro, that had to have been the worst one today. Oh, we got one more though before we end the thread. But God, that had to have been the worst one. Oh my Jesus, dude. Okay, this is our last one. What's your worst rejection story? It was a beautiful summer night and I decided to enjoy the evening with a bonfire. I had a crush on the girl next door, so I invited her to join me. We had been flirting back and forth for months and I had decided that this was the perfect time to ask her out. The exact second before I opened my mouth, I kid you not, she receives a phone call from another guy who proceeds to confess his love for her.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Oh. No. Say it ain't so. After she ended the conversation, I asked her out. She slept on it for a couple of days and ended up choosing me. 2 years later, she was deported.
What?
Wait. She was deported? Oh my God. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. Yo! Yo, Trump
Wrong.
out here took his girl, bruh. No way. No way, bro. Trump sent ICE in there to go take your girl. That's crazy. This man got rejected. No, bruh. No. Oh my God. ICE straight took his girl. Yo. Oh my God. Look, I thought the worst part was the guy calling her and being like, oh, I love you and this and that, blah, 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 blah. I thought that was the worst part. But no, that wasn't the worst part. If anything, that part was irrelevant to her actually dating him for a little bit and then getting deported. Trump said, adios, out of here. Get on out of here, bitch. Like, yo. Oh, that's crazy. Wow. Okay, the last two definitely ties. I don't know. I think the second to last one still was worse because that man got rejected twice. But this man, his girl got deported, bro. Like, that's wild. She got deported, son. Crazy work, man. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments. That was a juicy freaking thread. I won't lie to you. Oh my goodness. We'll hop to announcements, get right on into our book. So patreon.com/Am I the Asshole podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday. We'll be able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show. We are so close, and I mean so very close to being monetized on YouTube. So then we can bring all of the Spotify content over to YouTube, and that way you guys can do the Spotify membership and all that stuff. There'll be a lot more perks and access and all that good stuff over there. And so, yeah, hopefully we can get that handled and all that good stuff. But for now, support us on Patreon. I appreciate that so much. You guys are the goats, and I really love you guys so much. $3 a month gets you exclusive access to over 100 hours of content over there. All right. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for all the support, man. You guys have been absolutely killing the support, man. Oh my goodness, I can't thank you guys enough. Bro, we are averaging at least probably, close to almost 3,000 downloads a month. Like, it's insane to me, man. We're just growing and growing and growing. And now that it's like it's pretty much February, dude, the first month of this year was one of my biggest years. It really was. It was my biggest year, and that was crazy. You know what I mean? I did not think that January was going to be a big year for me. I really didn't think January was going to be a big year. I was blown away by the support. So thank you guys. I appreciate that so very much. Keep up the support. If you want to help out even more on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. All of that is free, and it helps out tremendously. So without further ado, though, let's get on into the book. All right. I know you guys' favorite part. I know you want me to shut the fuck up and get into the book. So that's what we're going to do. All right. Let's do it. Let me move you on over.
12. Kane. The drive to my parents' house is quick and nearly mindless. I push my Porsche 911 Turbo S to its limits up the hill, but I have full control over the vehicle, which can be said about the rest of the fucking night. My fingers tap against the steering wheel as the house looms like a shadow at the top of Ravenswood Hill, an isolated fortress hidden deep within the trees. The long winding driveway is flanked by towering oaks, their branches stretching overhead like skeletal fingers. The car's tires crunch against the gravel as I approach my old asylum, the sound muted under the oppressive weight of the night. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and pine, mingled with a faint metallic tang that always lingers in the forest. I kill the engine and step out of the car. Cold bites into my skin, the crisp night air sharp against my face. My breath forms clouds in front of me as I walk toward the house, the soft thud of my shoes on the stone path, the only sound breaking the silence. I've made this walk countless times, but it still feels like willingly getting trapped in a cave. As soon as I got into college, I bought a penthouse in the town center just to distance myself from this hellhole, but one can't escape his last name, or the fuckery that comes with it. The Davenport compound is an expansive mansion made of dark stone, ivy crawling up its weathered exterior like veins. Its windows are black voids reflecting nothing. The front door is heavy, creaking slightly as I push it open. Inside, the air is cooler and restrictive. The scent of aged wood and leather fills my nostrils, familiar yet suffocating. Every stone of this house has witnessed generations of power-hungry, duty-bound, and control-freak Davenports. Their portraits line the long hallway I'm walking through, a reminder of the generational wealth and souls sold to the devil. The dim orange lighting casts eerie shadows along the walls, the weight of my ancestors' hollow gazes pressing down on me with each step. I pause by a tall window that overlooks the dark expanse of the Japanese garden below and the forest in the distance. The rustle of leaves and the occasional hoot of an owl drift into the hall. My reflection stares back at me, expressionless and distorted in the glass, like the perfect machine I've been shaped into. No emotions, no fucking attachment. No other human being is allowed to have a hold on me. No one.
Kane?
I slide my left hand into my pocket and slowly rotate to face the woman who gave birth to me. She's dressed in a white silk gown and a matching robe, her ghost-like appearance fitting the house. Helena Davenport was a striking beauty in her youth, but now carries the weariness of a life spent in quiet suffering. Her once lustrous dark hair has thinned and gradually turned silver at the scalp. It swept into a simple but elegant bun, a remnant of her former sophistication. Her almond-shaped eyes, icy blue like mine, rarely show emotion, as though the weight of her depression has drained her ability to feel. She walks silently toward me, her posture always slightly hunched as if burdened by invisible chains. Helena is slender, but frail, as though a gust of wind could shatter her. Unless she's forced to by social obligations, she rarely engages with the world outside her private quarters, where she often remains hidden, staring at the same old book she never finishes, or talking to the koi fish in the garden pond. Hello, Mother. I paint a smile on my face and bend down so she can hug me. Her bony hand taps my back with no emotion. When she speaks, it's slow, as if every word is a hassle.
It's been a long time since I last saw you. You grew up and became so handsome.
Thank you, Mother.
Call me Mom, like when you were young.
It'd be better not to. Her shoulders drop, but she doesn't fight it or even insist on it. Though her beauty has faded, there's still a delicate grace to her movements, a hollow reflection of what she used to be. My mother's chronic depression has rendered her emotionally absent, her once kind spirit dulled by years of belonging to the system. I used to think Helena was different. She loved me and showered me with the affection her husband was incapable of, but then she retreated into her shell and left me for the sharks at the age of 6. After that, I've stopped calling her Mom or thinking of her as a mother. She's just another pawn in their game.
Honey.
She places her hand on my arm, and it's like being touched by a ghost.
Mom is sorry.
I know.
I couldn't do anything about it.
I know.
Do you blame me?
No,
Are you just saying that to placate me?
of course not. Her gaze grows blank, shadows settling within.
You speak just like your father. I don't like it.
I pat her head like she did when I was 6, after I was waterboarded in Father's dungeon to near death, and say the same sentence she said to me then, word for word. You'll get used to it. A sob tears from her throat as I walk past her. If I were the same Kane from 15 years ago, I would have stopped and consoled her. I would have taken her to the garden to watch the koi fish, or brought her flowers. But my ability to excuse her for not being able to protect me, or to feel sympathy for her plight, has long been stripped from me. My mother is just an unfortunate woman who got caught in the jaws of power. She gave birth to a weakling, me, and my father made sure to fix it. I knock on a dark mahogany door and then push it open. A drink in hand, my father's tall figure is standing by the floor-to-ceiling window. He's dressed in a tailored gray suit, his back straight and his posture upright, unlike the wife he broke. He tilts his head in my direction, and it's stunning how much I look like him. Same hair, same eye shape, same bone structure. The only difference between us, other than his grim gray eyes, is the creases of age in his face and his thin lips, which are always in a disapproving line. Grant Davenport has always been my warden, not my father. Kane, you're here. You called? He walks to the liquor cabinet and pours me a drink, the amber color glistening under the study's yellow lights. My father offers me the malt whiskey, then takes a seat on the brown leather sofa and motions at the chair across from him. I sit down, my legs far apart, projecting the commanding, relaxed posture he ingrained in me through years of torture. Is there a reason behind my presence here, Father? I can't ask to see my son. You can, but you don't usually. If there's a purpose, I'd appreciate it if we could reach it. A slight smile tilts his lips. You're a true Davenport. I hold my glass up. I'll drink to that. The alcohol tastes like fucking urine down my throat, but I keep up the facade he made sure I'd wear like a second skin. I'll cut to the chase. Grant leans forward in his seat and swirls the alcohol in his glass. The Osborns are making a move. I raise a brow. This town was founded by 4 families: Davenport, Armstrong, Callahan, and Osborn. For centuries, we held a monopoly on the town, its politics and people. Not only that, but we made sure to extend our influence to the rest of society. It's why Vencor exists. Once you're backed by the extended wealth and connections the organization offers, your and your offspring's future is set. This is why we attract many businessmen, politicians, and the scum of humanity. However, what the outsiders don't know is that there has always been an internal rivalry between the 4 founding families. Each of them wants to rule, to cripple the other families and take hold of the reins. Reputation is important, so one family has often publicized the other family's scandals to ruin their social standing within the town and encourage or incite a member vote to restrict their influence. When we were the target of such an attack less than a year ago, because of my uncle who was caught on camera fucking a man, my dad banished him from the family and the state. Homophobia runs deep in this town, and no gay members are allowed in. Doesn't matter in what day and age we live, if you're not straight, you're not respectable. Cheating like a champ is okay, though. Grant dipped his dick in all the pussy available, and is considered a real man. Fucking morons. At any rate, my uncle's sexcapades, though they were dealt with mercilessly by my father, still hurt the Davenport standing, because he didn't kill him. I kid you not, my uncle is expected to die for preferring dick over pussy. Talk about the Middle Ages. My father didn't spare his life out of brotherly love. He doesn't have that emotion. It was more because he's categorically against spilling Davenport blood. It's a bad omen. Also, my uncle controls the strongest arms of the Davenport trade operation to this day, and he has the protection of his boyfriend's mafia connections, so even the other families need to tread carefully before they lay a hand on him. I take a sip of my whiskey. What do the childless Osborns intend to do? Bring back their bastard. Marcus? Correct. I thought illegitimate children were a no-no. They are, unless it threatens their line. Their children are either dead or dying. Marcus Osborn is the only healthy male heir. So, they're completely eliminating Serena Osborn. The literal reason they still exist, just because she's a woman? Yes. My father's lips lift in a snarl. Women have no place in leadership roles anyway. Says the man who was threatened by some female members of the Davenport clan after my uncle's banishment, so he had them expelled from the country. I swirl my glass as I lean back. Marcus grew up like a thug in Stantonville, and I'm pretty sure he won't accept the Osborns' extended hand after they threw him and his mom out on the street. They'll find a way to rope him back in. And you'll allow it. Not if I can help it. However, if there's a general vote, we can't deny their rights to bring back a male heir. It's imperative we make a move before that happens. What do you suggest? He's the captain of the Stanton Wolves, no? Make sure he doesn't entertain the idea, captain to captain. He's not on my level. Then use someone to do the job for you, Jude, or Preston, or that Drayton girl who wants to marry you. Women are only objects to be used, and an accessory to wear. Fucking moron. Noted. The Osborns can't get back their standing, not after the Armstrongs crushed and diminished their power recently. Everyone else is meant to be beneath us. He stands up and pats my shoulder, his fingers sinking into the flesh. Remember, Kane, no distractions. Images of soft-skinned, blushed cheeks and smudged lipstick replay through my mind like an old grain movie. I can still feel her bright red lips around my cock and see the mess I made of that lipstick once I was done with her. Her jasmine scent, delicate, haunting, lingers in my senses. A renewed craving floods over me, and a hunger like I've never experienced gnaws through me. I shouldn't have touched her again. I shouldn't have lost control over a nobody. And she is a fucking nobody. But the way she looked at me, those hazel eyes filled with a mixture of curiosity and defiance, provoked a primal part of me that I can barely repress. But I'm done now. I'm back in control. What do you think I am, an amateur? I tell Grant with an expression that mirrors his. He nods in approval, assuming we're on the same side. We stopped being on the same side the day he stopped being my father. Every man for himself. After I become a founder, I'll bring this man down. One more year. Just one more. I've survived 21 years, one more is nothing. So, I truly mean it. Dahlia Thorne will not be a distraction. The next morning, I show up at psychology class. That Dahlia also happens to take. And no, I didn't find out that because she's a distraction. I'm just observant by nature and perceive a lot of things about a lot of people, even when they're ignorant of the fact. For instance, Prez here is hiding something, and while I'm not sure what it is yet, I know it's big enough that he's slipping. By slipping, I mean both Jude and I have been tightening our observation of his behavior. And that says something since Jude isn't in any better shape himself. Preston and I are sitting near the back of the lecture hall as the rest of the students buzz around, their chatter whirling like insects. "What are you even doing here?" he asks from my right, twirling a black pen and winking at the brunette sitting in front of us. I flip through the textbook as if I give any fucks. I signed up for the class at the beginning of the semester. But you never attend. I am now. Why now of all times? It's as good a time as any. Yeah, I bet your entirely rational decision has nothing to do with your irrational actions last night. I pause, then slowly flip the page. Preston sent a string of texts to our group chat yesterday, gloating and being a general pain in the ass, which I ignored, naturally, and Jude entertained. There was nothing irrational. I skimmed through the words on the page. It's all part of a plan. Preston grins, his face transforming from docile to demonic in a heartbeat. So, you wouldn't mind if I become part of the plan and make my move? I lean back against the chair, and even though I appear relaxed, the chatter of the students dissipates, and so do the girls' attempts to catch our attention and flirt. You made a move, and she shot you down, Prez. Take a hint. That wasn't a move, that was a suggestion. You haven't even witnessed my real move. His grin widens. Speak of the devil. My attention zeroes in on Dahlia, who's walking into class with a few books in her hand, and a tote bag slung over her shoulder. It has an image of a cat wearing sunglasses, and right underneath it, A few words are written in a playful font. Fluff you fluffin' fluff. What is this, middle school? And yet my gaze studies her, taking her all in as if she's a drug I'm inhaling deep into my lungs. And I don't even do drugs. Dahlia is dressed in jeans, a white t-shirt, a beat-up leather jacket, and her usual white sneakers. Her hair is loose, falling to her shoulders in soft waves, framing the infuriatingly determined expression on her face. I hate that look. I hate that she always has it, no matter what she goes through. It's what makes me want to break her to pieces. Smash her. Ruin her so thoroughly she'll never be able to stand up again. See if she'll dare to ever look at me. You're drooling, Preston whispers, then waves. Thorn! Over here, saved you a seat. The entire hall stares at her. It's unusual for any of the girls to get to sit with us. Isabella and her minions made sure of it, so they only approach if one of us calls them over. Dahlia lifts her head and pauses, her forefinger tracing cryptic messages on her thumb. Like a witch. Wouldn't be surprised if she's capable of making potions of some sort. Her eyes meet mine and she holds my gaze for 1 second. 2. 3. On the 4th, she slides her attention to Preston and offers a rehearsed smile as she walks up. Her steps are unhurried and confident despite the whispers and unwanted attention directed at her. She stops beside us, and instead of walking straight ahead and coming to the vacant seat by my side, she does a whole detour and goes to Preston's side. My index finger twitches, but I focus back on the textbook and start to read gibberish about politics.
Hi.
She whispers, and I feel her gaze on me. Over here, lovely. Preston points at himself like a gigolo. I'm the one who saved you the seat.
Thanks.
My pleasure. Anything for a beautiful lady. I calmly turn the page, even though I didn't read a single word. Preston can't die. Dahlia is just a pawn. Listen, he continues. Heard Kane is giving you a hard time. Forget about him. He's too rigid and aloof and doesn't know how to treat women. How about you come to me? You can join me and the team next Friday after the game as my personal guest. It's a super exclusive party for the close circle. I can feel her gaze on me again, as if she's waiting for a sign, a word, or anything to help with her decision. I offer nothing. Let's see how desperate she really is. Stop looking at him. He wouldn't mind, right, Kane? I wouldn't. I lift my head and smile. In fact, you should bring some of your old friends from Stanton River College. It would be so much more interesting. Preston pauses and stares for a few beats. You went to SRC? She nods.
Yeah, I only came to GU this year.
Not only did she go to SRC, but she also dated your favorite hockey player, Prez. Who was it again? It's my turn to grin. Right, Osborne. You should invite him to our get-together, Dahlia.
I didn't really date Marcus.
She blurts out.
We went out like twice and then figured we didn't click.
But you kind of dated. That's all that matters, right, Press? Since our first game against the Wolves, Preston has despised Marcus's guts, probably because Marcus checks him any chance he gets and doesn't care about being penalized. Something Preston does care about and therefore isn't as aggressive in his plays. It also happens that, other than me, Osborne is the only hockey player in the entire league who's not ruffled by Preston's provocations that are delivered with a smile, something that infuriates my friend to no end. So what does he do? He tries to exploit as many of Osborne's weaknesses as possible, just to bring him down. Doesn't matter what the score is between the Vipers and the Wolves, Preston and Marcus always seem to have their game inside the game, and it'll probably remain that way until Preston gets the clear upper hand. He truly thoroughly and categorically refuses to walk away from a situation that doesn't go as he wishes. He might seem agreeable, but he's an insufferable son of a bitch when pursuing a goal. And because of his distaste for the charity team, as he calls the Stanton Wolves, he's beyond disgusted with Osborne's entourage. It doesn't help that Marcus once stole Preston's girlfriend, or sort of girlfriend. Since then, the moment Preston finds out a girl has slept with his rival, he immediately loses interest, which is rich coming from Preston, who fucks any girl available. So that makes Dahlia off limits. Permanently. Dad was right. I'll use Preston against Marcus and Marcus against Preston. A win-win. Is that so? He asks with a smile, but his eyes are muted. Why didn't you guys click? A frown appears between her brows.
He's kind of an asshole.
I narrow my eyes. Osborne did something to her. What? I don't know, but I'll find out. So is Davenport. Preston grins. But you already knew that. The professor comes in as Dahlia looks at me, opens her mouth, then closes it and stares at her notebook. Preston pulls out his phone and focuses on it instead of class. Me? I keep watching the girl I swore would never be a distraction. The girl who shouldn't be in this town in the first place. My phone beeps and I retrieve it.
Dahlia, why are you suddenly attending this class?
Kane, do I need a reason to attend a class I'm enrolled in?
A class you've never attended.
I'm doing so now.
Are you stalking me?
Do you want to be stalked? Because I'm game. A tinge of red covers her cheeks, and she shoots me a piercing glare. Too bad there's no red lipstick today, but any red will do.
I thought you wanted me out of your sight.
Kane, I changed my mind. Seems I have to watch you closely after all, my wildflower.
13. Dahlia. The DNA samples don't match. This applies to the 3 guys whose DNA I stole at the party, Price's, Novak's, and Kane's. So, after he fucked my face and came down my throat 3 days ago, I kept some of his cum in my mouth and then bagged it. I'd like to think that's the only reason I let him use me like a rag doll. But the throbbing between my legs at the time and long after I got home testify against that theory. At any rate, the fact that his DNA wasn't present under my sister's fingernails was a relief I didn't know I needed until I stagger against the laboratory counter. Damn it. Is his innocence that important to me? Why? Because I burn for his touch? Because his mere presence unsettles me to the point of losing control? That doesn't matter, though. I've had sex before. Sex is physical and doesn't mean anything. So why the hell? I stare at the DNA result sheet and then tuck it into my lab coat. The last thing I need is to lose this scholarship for performing illegal DNA tests and targeting the town's hockey gods. Everyone here seems obsessed with the team. Even Mrs. Hales was asking if I could get Preston's autograph since we go to the same college. Apparently, he's the most popular and effortlessly attracts everyone. Kane is second because he's just so well-mannered and dreamy. Mrs. Hale's words, not mine. Dreamy my ass. He just wears the mask so well. Even I was fooled by him in the beginning. Jude, on the other hand, is a dark horse on and off the rink. There's a brutality in him that only attracts a certain category of people. He also doesn't make an effort to wear a smile like Preston or a mask like Kane. What you see is basically what you get. Since he and the rest of the team are my next targets for the DNA hunt, I need to get closer to the team. After that, I'll figure out a way to influence Kane to make me an active Vencor member. Thus far, he's shot down any of my attempts to be active in the organization. When I tried to befriend Preston, Kane somehow managed to say the right words to make his friend lose complete interest in my company. I knew that asshole Marcus was trouble. I should have never gone out with him in the first place. At the time, his last name didn't really mean much to me, and I didn't want to believe the rumors floating around about him and his dark past. Little did I know that he's, in fact, a major psycho. I'm not sure how Kane got that information about my dating life, and it's made me more paranoid. Just how much does he know about me? How long can I fool him? Hell, can I even fool him? With his unreadable personality and unpredictable actions, he's the one who fools people, not the other way around. Still, the only way to get close to the team and him is to make him trust me at any cost. He did defend me the other day at Drayton's party, so it's not like he doesn't care at all. It's a good start. Though I believe he cares more about degradation through sex, which I can tolerate. Liar. My thighs clench at the thought of it, and I'm truly struggling to come to terms with the fact that I enjoy something so sick. A loud vibrating sound echoes on the empty laboratory table, and I flinch out of my thoughts. My posture straightens when I see the text. Why does the mere sight of his name make me hyper-aware?
Kane, you signed up for the motorcycle club.
Me? Yes, and? Is this another announcement of your stalkerish tendencies?
There's no stalking involved. I'm openly watching you, and you won't be going to the club.
Why not?
Because you're only there for Jude, and I can see your little tricks from a mile away. Cut it out.
And if I don't?
Then I'll have to act on my warnings.
I lean my back against the counter. Something must have hit me in the head since that initiation, because I type, me. And how will you act on them?
Kane, ask your sore cunt and bruised jaw. They know exactly how I react to disobedience.
I forgot. Perhaps you didn't make that much of an impression.
Or perhaps, if I were to come there and touch you, I'd find you dripping wet at the thought of being used by me, Dahlia. You're burning for it. I can see it in your eyes when you look at me.
He's right. But he doesn't need to know that. Me. You're not that special. Trust me, I've had better dick.
Kane, nice try. These little games don't work on me.
No games. Just facts. Winky face.
The only fact I know is that if I were to touch you, you'd melt in my arms. You're a slut for my cock, Wildflower.
And you're a simp for my pussy. But you don't see me stating the obvious.
You're just a hole I use. Nothing more.
My lips purse, and I hate the slight thud behind my rib cage. Me. No real holes were used during the making of this movie, at least not in the past couple of weeks. No wonder you're not that special.
Kane, Dahlia.
Yeah?
I told you not to tempt me.
I'm just having a civil conversation.
You're only civil when you're silent, which happens when you're choking on my cock.
You're such a pervert.
I know. I spent the last couple of days imagining your cunt strangling my cock as you screamed and cried. I want to see your tears again.
My hand trembles around the phone. This sick asshole. Me. Hard pass. I don't like pain.
Kane. Questionable. Anyway, come watch the game tomorrow. I'll send you a ticket.
Why would I go?
I thought you were my fan, no?
Maybe I changed my mind.
It's adorable to think you can.
People change their minds all the time.
Be there.
Then he attaches a ticket for a seat at the very front. I've never sat at the front at any game, let alone for an extremely sought-after team like the Vipers. Not that I will follow his order and go there just because he told me to. So I came anyway. It doesn't matter how much I despise Kane's attitude on a personal level, I still need him to trust me and allow me to get closer. I even bought his jersey from the merch store outside and gave myself a major eye roll. Tonight's game is against the Blackhawks, one of the fiercest teams in the league and Michigan's reigning champion. Vipers Arena is packed full of people, gaping at witnessing two titans going at each other. They buzz with uncontained excitement every time there's contact. The rink pulses with life, the roar of the crowd vibrating in the air like an electric hum, which slips into my bones. The cold air bites at my skin, even through layers of clothes. Like everyone else, my attention is glued to the game. The sharp staccato of skates slicing the ice, the thud of bodies crashing together. It all melds into a chaotic symphony of power and violence. However, the game isn't really on my radar. I'm more focused on the man who commands the ice, like a warrior, Kane. And I realize the way he plays is an accurate representation of his personality. He moves like a predator, calculating every motion with deadly precision. His tall frame cuts through the opposing players, his ice-blue eyes never leaving the puck. There's something about the way he plays, his presence magnetic, impossible to ignore. His skate scraping against the ice is like a knife through my senses. The cold sharpness of his movements slices through the air, making my pulse quicken. The puck glides across the ice, and Kane seizes it. His stick connects with the puck in a single, fluid motion that makes the crowd go wild. Even I find myself leaning forward in my seat. Every muscle in his body seems attuned to the game. The way he owns the ice, the control he wields. It's intoxicating. No, terrifying. There's a calmness to him, an authoritativeness that contrasts with the chaos of the game. Every time he moves, subtle power peeks from beneath the surface. He finally shoots, and it's a perfect strike, the puck slamming into the net with a sharp crack that sends the crowd into a frenzy. Kane doesn't react. His face remains unreadable, cold, as he skates back to center ice, not acknowledging the cheers. I think I see him glancing in my direction, but it's fleeting and probably a figment of my imagination.
We meet again, Dahlia.
The low, disturbingly malicious voice sets my nerves on edge. I've been so focused on Kane, I didn't pay attention to my surroundings, so I didn't notice when a demon personified approached me. "What are you doing here, Marcus?" I speak over the crowd's chaos. He sits beside me when I swear the seat was occupied by an older lady not 10 minutes ago. I consider moving to another seat, but the arena is packed full of people.
Is that any way to greet me, sweetheart?
"I'm not your sweetheart," I grit out from between clenched teeth. He smiles, but it's predatory at best. Marcus Osborne is an unsettling presence, a force of chaotic energy barely contained within his tall, lean frame. His angular face is sharp with high cheekbones and a jawline that could cut glass. But it's his eyes that reveal the depth of his brutality. His dark, nearly black eyes are cold and hollow, yet there's a flicker of wildness within them, like a storm that's constantly brewing. A thin scar slices across his right eyebrow, a constant reminder of the violence he both endures and inflicts. His lips, often set in a cruel smirk, hint at his enjoyment of the pain he causes, and the thrill he gets from pushing others to their limits, like he once did to me.
Is that why you're wearing Davenport's shirt? You sure know how to climb the ranks.
What I do with my life is none of your business.
I know. I'm just disappointed in your life choices.
Better than the life choices you had in mind for me. He smiles, but says nothing. I notice angry purple bruises on his knuckles. Though not as bulky as Jude, Marcus has a wiry, muscular build, and he's no stranger to physical confrontations. His preferred method of communication often being fists, or worse. He's just bad news all around. I trace circles on my thumb. "What are you doing here?"
Watching the game, like you.
"Is that all?"
Yes. The Vipers and the Blackhawks are our rivals, remember? Or did you forget where you came from once you fraternized with the posh rich boys?
I open my mouth to say something when the boards in front of me rattle with a violent impact. My eyes widen as they clash with Kane's. He just shoved a Blackhawks player so harshly, I'm surprised the boards didn't splinter to pieces. He holds my gaze for a brief moment. Chilly, expressionless, but something flickers there, something dark and intense that renders me motionless. The referee doesn't call a penalty, and the Vipers snatch the puck back. Kane skates to the offense, resuming the fast-paced game. Marcus scratches his chin as he watches me.
Interesting.
What do you mean?
Davenport doesn't check violently. He's usually extremely sharp and intervenes in a clean way. I must say, I prefer this version of him.
I frown. But before I can consider Marcus's words, he waves at the rink and mouths something I'm not able to read in time. When I follow his field of vision, I spot Preston glaring back for a fraction of a second before he skates with the puck. Preston is a shadow on the ice. He doesn't crash or shove, but his presence is still felt. There's a smoothness to his movements, an effortless grace as he navigates the rink, weaving through players with ease. He's not loud or aggressive, but his style is lethal in its precision. Every pass and every play is strategic, as if he's thinking 5 steps ahead of everyone else. While Jude crashes into the opposing players with a force that sends bodies flying into the boards, Preston avoids that at all costs. "Hey, Marcus?" he says without taking his calculative gaze from the game. "Do you know Preston?" He tilts his head in my direction with a faint pull at the edge of his lips.
Why? He said he knows me?
No, but he kind of dislikes me since he found out we were together at some point. A slow, malicious grin stretches his mouth.
Is that so?
Yeah. What have you done?
Moi? Nothing.
You want me to believe he dislikes you for no reason?
Oh, there's a reason. He can't beat or ruffle me, no matter what tactic he uses. It pisses him off, and I happen to enjoy seeing the little prince out of his depth.
Are you sure that's all?
What else would there be? People like us don't run in the same circles as them, sweetheart.
All his humor disappears.
You'll figure that out in your own time.
After that, he grows silent, more focused on the rink. I'm distracted as well when the game turns into a literal war, a brutal clash of power and strategy. Through it all, it's Kane who holds me hostage. Even in the chaos, his control is absolute, and the way he commands the ice is mesmerizing. Every time he moves, it's like a pulse through my body, reminding me of how dangerously close I plan to get to someone who should terrify me. And yet, the more I watch him, the stronger my sense of trepidation becomes. What type of upbringing did Kane have that caused him to turn into a literal ice machine? Is it even possible for someone to be so technically perfect? I'm not sure if it's because I only recently got into hockey, but I haven't seen him make any mistakes. After the game ends in the Vipers' favor, barely, the players skate to the bench area and then to the locker room. Kane follows with a hand on Preston's neck as he speaks close to his ear, but he doesn't acknowledge me. At the beginning of the game, the first place he looked as soon as he got on the ice was at me. I even think I saw an expression of satisfaction, but now he leaves the rink without a look behind. My heart sinks. Why the hell did he ask me to come watch him if he was going to give me the cold shoulder? Is this another tactic? As the arena starts to empty out, the crowd talking animatedly, Marcus and I don't move. He doesn't seem to be in a hurry, but the last thing I want is to stay near the asshole. The only reason I stay is because I want to milk him for information. I face him. Hey, Marcus?
Yeah.
You're a center like Kane, but how come you two play differently? He spears both hands behind his head and leans back against the seat.
So, now you're an expert in hockey. I swear you didn't even know how many players were on a team a few months ago.
People learn. So tell me, what's the difference between the two of you?
What did you notice that's different?
Kane's movements are smoother.
He's boringly technical, just like Armstrong. They learned hockey from expensive coaches and camps that could only be afforded by their generational wealth. They feel violence is beneath them, so they steer clear of it no matter what. They should play tennis instead of hockey.
But Jude is violent.
He's different. He has inborn talent that couldn't be killed by expensive coaches. He's the only one worthy of respect out of the three. Probably the one who dragged them into the game as well.
Am I right to think acquiring such technical skills means rigorous training and a strict routine?
Yes. Heard they spent their childhood in an all-boys boarding school where they were taught severe discipline.
My scalp tingles with unease. How were they taught?
Ask him.
He smirks.
If you dare.
Before I can probe some more, he stands up and walks out. Some of the girls notice him and follow after him like moths to flames. I mean, I know Marcus is strikingly handsome with his whole je ne sais quoi attitude. But there should be some sense of loyalty to our college. Marcus is like our team's arch nemesis. I mean the Vipers. It's not our team. After sticking around for some time until the arena empties, I'm asked to leave by security. On my way out, I check my texts, and my mood sours when I find nothing from Kane. I should have spent my precious time by Violet's side instead of catering to his stupid whims. My steps are lethargic as I head to the parking lot where I left my bike. It's empty now except for a couple of cars. The light is dimmer here, and the silence lingers like a layer of smog. I quicken my pace toward the bike parking area and pause. The bike isn't there. Someone stole it? It's not even that great. I kick the pole, then groan in pain. God damn it! My bike is my only mode of transportation. I don't have the money to buy another one. A car stops beside me and I look up, my brow furrowing. A golden Rolls-Royce's back window rolls down to reveal Isabella Drayton. Her hair is gathered in a ponytail, and she looks down on me as if I'm the dirt beneath her car's tires. What's up, Charity? Can't find a ride home? My name is Dahlia, and my business is none of yours. I was going to offer you a ride. As Charity. No thanks. I search my surroundings, just in case the bike was moved. You don't get to refuse me. When I order, you only comply, bitch. I swing around toward her, about to give her a piece of my mind, but a shadow appears from behind me. Before I can figure out who it is, something pricks my arm. I reach for the scalpel I always keep in my tote bag, but it falls to the ground. You... My tongue stops moving, and my vision blurs. The last thing I see is Isabella's vicious smile as the world goes black.
All right. Woo! That's been today's episode. Today was a juicy episode. The thread as well as today's chapters. Marion, absolutely juicy. Hope you guys loved today's episode. I will see you guys tomorrow for the free February Patreon episode. And then we will be doing, and then we'll have an episode on Sunday for you guys. All right. So see you guys tomorrow on Friday for the free Patreon episode. And then I will see you on Sunday for an episode with me and Michael. Love you guys all. I'll see you then, and peace.